Coming up next, Episode 4, The Last Concert. Based on... the interlude, my guess is that The Last Concert is going to be based in the same place as, the interlude. Yeah. And so, like, those doors and all that other shit that beforehand that I simply hadn't gotten to, you know, because there's like a lot of locked doors and shit. My assumption is that those are for whoever I play as here, which will most likely be Sophie, since she's available again. See, so had I not gone back at least, so that at least vindicates me somewhat because Sophie's in this again, so she wouldn't be available. Technically, okay, if Erica Farber hadn't died because of the bullshit map thing, then Sophie would not be available here because I would not have restarted episode 2. I've already given my honesty about that. But my assumption, I don't know whether or not that my assumption is that they'll do the mirror thing where they turn the light on and off again. But this time, you'll actually get to see what happens, and perhaps what happened to Husher as well. But yeah, the last concert is going to be the exact same place, because that concert is the last one from 1913 or 12 or whatever.
I left him here 4 days ago. I thought, well, since I didn't hear from him, I thought he'd forgotten me again. Caught up in his usual musings. It's happened before, you know?
Did he stay here, alone? Do you know if he went in?
Yes. Well, I don't know if he went in, but he certainly did ask me to leave. He seemed a bit more erratic than usual. As I said before, it wouldn't be the first time I've traveled with Sebastian only to find myself on a forced holiday until he remembers I'm there. Honestly, I thought he'd forgotten completely this time and had just headed back home. The hotel was booked until Monday, so...
Well, he's not home. That much I can tell you. Is there any way to get in there?
Well, as far as I know, the door isn't locked. Although it might be a bit swollen from the humidity. Maybe if we gave it a little push.
Right, let's give it a try. But someone should look for another way in, just in case.
Sebastian P. Husher, right at the Abbey of St. Cecilia following Argos Legrand, the man who made the music box that Isaac Farber would later come to purchase. Daniel Neuer, publicist, I already know who he is. Ah, so Ernest is the guy who went with him. Gotcha. Damn, girl, aren't you cold in that? Well, I mean, yeah, she is. That's why she's shivering. But, like, why were you even out here? Who's this guy, though? Lowish speed, high in stealth, high and strength. Hold up. He's balanced everything. She's low in strength but balance and most other things. Damn. Whew. I'll tell you what, I'm choosing Sophie first, of course, like usual, but if she dies, I'm going with Ernest. A friend to Sebastian P. Husher, Ernest is a renowned ex-archaeologist. First to retire due to constant health problems. The writer is one of the few people that still manages to entice him into breaking his routine, and Ernest often travels together with him during his research trips. When the writer needed help to gain access to the Abbey of St. Cecilia, he thought immediately about Ernest. So you're good friends then. I gotta say, it's 1998. Why the hell are you in this game? Why the hell are you using that lantern? Just use a regular flashlight, bro. That being said, I'm going with Sophie, of course. Alright, come on, girl.
You keep working on the door. I'll go take a look around.
Ah, okay, so... I assume that means then that, monastery consecrated to the patron saint of music. It was abandoned in 1912. I assume that means then that each character starts from their own starting point. 6th of October, 1998. Episode 4, The Last Concert.
Okay, I'm in. Time to find Husher once and for all.
Immediately there's a thingy. One thing I don't get. By the way, yeah, sometimes I'm aware, by the way, mostly from looking at my own shit. I am aware of the fact that sometimes I go non-rhotic. One thing I don't get. I get that she's attached to Daniel. You know, they're exes, like they used to be spouses, and all that, and that she still cares about him. Oh my God. I get that, but like, after the shit she's already been through at the Husher Mansion and the antique shop, bro, she's got some huge ovaries to sit there and be coming back again to this place. She's already been through hell twice. People in this game have no sense of self-preservation. I can't get through here. The debris is in my way. Also, why in fuck's name would anybody want to split up after seeing the shit they've already seen? I don't know. Some of it just doesn't add up. From a logical point of view. There's abandoned shit everywhere. What happened here? Ah, now I actually have a fucking map. It looks like they threw that wardrobe down in the debris. This place makes me feel terribly lonely. That sucks. Oh shit. There's something blocking the passage on the other end. Looks like a hatch. Well, to hell with looking anymore for that hatch now. What the fuck was that? I don't know if that's in the recording. I don't know if that's in the game, but I just heard something weird. A stone bench. I'm sure it must have been a lovely little spot in the summer, but right now I just freeze to death. Where is this place anyway? Like, honestly. You know, let me check out the old cloister. There's a bucket hanging from the rope on the well. I could use it to lower something down there. Nice. So that's already a good puzzle hint. Is that it? Fuck you. You know, okay, here's what would make it realistic, and if this actually is the case, then I will be very impressed. Is if that was somebody else, like Ernest or, you know, somebody. That would impress me if that was like somebody else who actually got in from another entrance. But I doubt it, because that's not how this game works. Although it would be realistic. Those flowers are pretty remarkable. They're covered in thorns, but I doubt I could uproot them with my bare hands. So I'll need those at some point. Okay, so this is just puzzles, this middle part. You know, the best zapping system I've ever seen in the game is honestly, I think in Resident Evil 2. OG, not reimagining. Because in that game, you're playing by yourself, but it does genuinely feel like you're actually playing with the other person too. Here, you're just on your own, no matter what. I said it's earlier, but they could have done so much more with that sound again. Hold up. I don't know what that noise is. I'm gonna see if I hear it in the recording. Like, I'm gonna see if I hear it. They've stacked all kinds of shit here. I was about to say something else too, but I forgot what it was. Oh yeah. I said it before about this. The pressing against the ear thing would have been so much better if there was more noises. Like, let's say, like, if you could hear on like a girl crying on the other side or some shit. Like, they could have done so much more with that than they did.
Yes.
Folded note. Hasty notes taken by Husher. He did not take those notes. I feel like I'm being followed. I know the Abbey is abandoned, but sometimes it feels like there's someone there. Who's putting out the candles? It might just be the wind, or the insufferable chill. I must be losing my mind, but sometimes I encounter candles that I don't recall lighting myself. Damn it, I need to find the origin of that cursed song and get out of this place. Yes, you do. There are still things on the table, as if no one had remembered to clean up after the last meal. Well, the last meal was like almost 100 years ago, girl. In case you don't know, this place was abandoned. The refectory, huh? You know, how would I go in here last? Well... yeah, I'm gonna go in here. This is like the big double door area. There's that fucking noise again. If that's in the recording, I don't know if it is. If that's that doo-doo noise, if that's in the recording, then I don't know why that's playing, but I don't know what to do about it. Actually, I do know one thing to do about it, potentially. Hang on. Back at this menu screen. I haven't played this game in probably 2 or 3 weeks or something along the lines of that. So I mentioned that I was hearing that weird noise, the weird audio thing. Apparently, this episode 4, had, or I should say had, past tense had, this weird, fucked up bug that affected your save files, and the game, like, that error was that the game was trying to autosave, but it couldn't, so it was given an error message. And then if you try and manually save the game and quit, which is what I did, it fucked your save data. So what does that mean? Well, I still had the save data on my storage and all that, but I couldn't use it. Whereas the reason why I couldn't use it is because this episode would corrupt your save file, so your system just wouldn't use it. It's like, you know, what the fuck is this? So I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't originally gonna even continue this. In fact, I even recorded a whole review based only on the first 3 episodes. But then the patch came out, which, according to the internet, fixed episode 4, so now you can actually complete the fucking game. And that left me with the prospect of having to play through the entire game again up to this point, which I did. And when I did that, I actually used Erica Farber for episode 2, because when I really think about it, she kind of seems like the better pick. Honestly, Erica Farber is way better to choose for episode 2 than Sophie is anyway. And I may have even recorded it like that, but I figured, what's the point, because I've already played the shit. Like, it didn't, like, playing through all 3 episodes, again, including the interlude, took me approximately 3 hours and 20 minutes this time, because episode 1 took about 1 hour, 3 took about 1 hour, including the interlude. 3, if you know what the hell you're doing with episode 3, it is such a quick thing, because like most of each segment is just figuring out what to do. So if you already know what to do, then it takes like 5 minutes to solve the puzzles, because the other like 55 minutes is figuring out what to do. It's so quick. Which is good for me, because it means, you know, less time on bullshit getting back to this point. Another reason why I decided to continue on episode 4 after all, is because I read a little bit about this game, you know, when I was figuring out what the fuck was going on with episode 4 in the first place. And One thing I just know, I didn't discover anything spoilery, so you know, like anything that happens in this episode, I'm still blind on. As well as episode 5, and yes, there are 5. I did find out there are 5 episodes, but I think I already mentioned that I prognosticated that in the first place, so it's okay. But each episode in this game is apparently based on a different horror game or franchise. Like I forget which ones exactly coordinate with each episode, but like one episode is based on Fatal Frame, another episode is based on Silent Hill, and so forth. Now this game, and well, this episode, I've actually, part of the reason why I decided to say fuck it and do it anyway, to get back to this episode. Episode 4 is apparently based directly on Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which I'm pretty sure at some point, like even if I hadn't known that, I'm pretty sure at some point I would have been, this feels like a lot like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I feel like I might have done something like that, which makes sense because this takes place in the same map area as the interlude, and the interlude had a alchemist room, which alchemy is a big thing in Amnesia: Dark Descent, and that excited me because, well, in case you don't know this, so Amnesia is one of the games where I 100% agree with the consensus, in which it is like the scariest game ever made. Because for me personally, like it's to me it's the greatest psychological horror game ever made. Gotta mention psychological horror because there are different subgenres of horror, but it's also it's the best like scary game I've ever played in my life. So to play a game or play an episode based upon it, I like the prospect of that. And then I mentioned that I actually rule with the consensus on that one, because there are a lot of games I don't rule with the consensus on, the most major being Resident Evil 4. But I'm not going to get into that because this isn't about Resident Evil 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play as Sophie Van Dennant, since I did, after all, play through episode 2 a second time of my own volition, just to make sure she's still alive, because that fucking bullshit with Erica Farber, but I've already explained that. Anyway, now that I've explained my piece on this whole deal, I am going to cut to a point. I'm going to play the beginning of episode 4, off screen, but I'm going to continue this. I'm going to make a cut to roughly where I was, which will probably be like 2 minutes in. So, here's that cut. And just like that, progress-wise, I'm pretty much where I was in episode 4, and like I said, it's only been like 2 minutes. So, now that I know this is based upon Amnesia: Dark Descent, I'm already seeing it. Along the well puzzle there, I'm really seeing it now. And before I proceed, because of the whole deal with the safe and all that, I've had a lot of time to ruminate about this game, and I have some predictions. And I don't mind if my predictions, are even accurate. Like even like with Soma, most of my predictions are pretty accurate. So, what's his face? Isaac Farber, found dead in his apartment place. Now, considering what happened with Husher at the end of the interlude, it's my prognostication that when we find Husher, we're gonna find him dead. That's my prognostication. And beyond that, episode 5 is gonna be about Daniel trying to, save him from suffering the same fate. And my guess is that I think this game will have a bleak ending. I think that the game will end with Daniel killing himself. That's what I think. Some prognostications there. Could be wrong, but it's my prognostications. So here we go. Anyway, this is the This is the refractory, right? Yeah. Yeah, because I was in this room, and then I started hearing that error message noise, and then that's when this game got fucked. I exited that door, went to the right, and that was it. By the way, that shouldn't happen again, but let me be clear right now. If that kind of shit happens again, I am not replaying this shit again. That'll be it. Although I need to find a fucking hiding place. I really do. Set all kinds of things here. Because if I get to a point where I have to, you know, fucking hide, and I just get fucked, and then that's it right now, because I can't. Candles, I've already read that. So I guess a little bit of this is repeat, but for the most part. Herbs, cookery books, all abandoned and covered in dust. Well, this place hasn't been used since, I believe, 1913. Oh! Speaking of somewhere to hide, there we go. Oh, thank fuck. Spices, sugar, and salt. The labels on the drawers are in Latin. Some kind. Oh my god, Latin. Some seem like herb names. Others I couldn't say. Oh yeah, I gotta say right now, what I say is gonna be slightly marred by the realization this is based upon Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Because since I know that, I'm drawing all the parallels. I wasn't drawing them before. Because the Latin thing, because Latin was a very important part of The Dark Descent, as far as like signs and all that goes. You know what? How about if I go for that other door back here? What the shit? Oh, there are two doors. Let's go for this one. Excellent. Nothing. Oh, it's a closet. A bucket full of grease. The smell is strong and it looks pretty liquid. Well, it's fucking grease. I would expect it to be goddamn. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. That's from the Amnesia: The Dark Descent well puzzle, isn't it? In Amnesia: The Dark Descent, there was a well and you have to put something in it in order to get something. I feel like there's going to be something that you're going to have to dip in this grease, and then you have to put it in that bucket and send it down the well. I feel like that's going to be a thing. Old works on distilling and selecting the right cereals and yeast for brewing beer. Ooh. Personally, I don't like beer. I do like alcohol, but I don't like beer. My choices are whiskey and cocktails. Oh my god, you're a pussy because you like cocktails. Yeah, well, beer tastes like piss. So if you want to drink piss, then fucking go for it. Ooh. Let's not go in there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's important to always check the doors. Otherwise, you might get ass fucked. What is up here? I guess nothing. That works. I gotta say too, I'm gonna pause it. I gotta say it is very nice. Actually pause it, because remember the fucking map button somehow doesn't count as a pause button. It's nice to play a part of this game again where I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Because I'll tell you what, like every horror game known to mankind pretty much, the only bad thing about them is that they have no replay value, because once you've experienced it, that's pretty much it. Which isn't a bad thing, it's, you know, that's how horror games are, that's how they're designed. This game is extra like that. Going through the episode 1 through 3 and then the interlude was monotonous as hell. Honestly, it really was. Oh, good God. I'm nervous to walk through these double doors. Fuck it. Nothing on the side. Excellent. Oh. Wait. The lock plate looks like iron and it's pretty heavy. So is there going to be an iron key? Oh, and you may be thinking to yourself, you know, how is it that they could let an actual game-breaking glitch into episode 4? Because okay, saving is one thing, and you may be thinking to yourself, you know, why can't you just, you know, like maybe you'll hear the error messages, and you can't manually save it. But what if you can just, you know, play through the whole episode in one go and finish it? There is a possibility. Well, there was even a possibility of being able to do that, but the chances were slim, and it wasn't worth it. And here's why: because there was a 50% chance that, actually probably more than 50% chance, that the game would just fuck your console. What do we mean by fuck your console? Your console will just shut the fuck down. Like, the main thing was the saving, but this episode used to have a serious issue that would fuck your console. So much so that it actually bricked people's consoles. Like, they actually had to do like a whole reset thing. There were people that lost all of their memory, not just in this game, but everything they had. You know, I may have had to replay this fucking game again, but I'm happy to hell that I did not lose every fucking thing I had. Granted, I had the cloud saves, but still, like, I have other things like this footage, for instance. I would have lost everything I had, and that would have, like, now replaying this game is one thing. It was a monotonous inconvenience in a few hours, but that pales in comparison to what could have fucking happened. This episode was not worth playing. No, the worst part though is that it was also my own fault, because I was gonna take a break of approximately 3 weeks in between when I completed the interlude to playing this game. In between those 3 weeks is when that patch came out. But I got impatient and had to fucking play this anyway. Had I waited and actually played this shit, because I would have started playing it about now anyway. Had I been patient and just actually fucking waited to play this goddamn game, episode 4, the patch would have come out, I would have seen it, I'd be like, oh, cool, patch. And I would have played the game, and I would have never even known about this issue. Which is another reason why I was perfectly willing to play through the game again, because it was my own fucking fault. My impatience is the reason. Oh, fuck. That's right, I know how to do this shit now. There we go. Ass wipe. A lot of people struggle on that minigame.
God, I could almost feel how it was trying to reach me.
Yeah. A lot of people struggle with that minigame. Allow me to express how I personally do this minigame. Because another thing I came across during the whole episode 4 debacle was more people bitching about that minigame. Because not only do you have to pay attention to two things at once, that being the actual circular line thingy and your own filled in white shit. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Not only do you have to do that, but also a lot of people find it very difficult to balance the R2 and L2. A lot of people find it difficult to adjust it accordingly. So allow me to express how I do it. I focus first on L2, because one will get you halfway there, the other one will get you the rest of the way there. Or if you press them both at the same time, it'll be partial then full. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. I focus first on the L2 button only to get me halfway there. That way, when that circle thing is halfway or less, I only use L2. When it gets above the halfway point, that's when I start using R2 with L2 still pressed in, and I use it as much as it needs to go. Once the circle thing goes to half point, I just let go of R2. So if let's say it goes from full point to dead zero, I will have both buttons held down, and then I will release R2 until it's up fully, and then as soon as that's done, I will slowly release L2 until it's released fully. Just that's how I do it, because a lot of people apparently have struggles with that. And what, given my audience is only approximately 50 viewers, it depends on the game. Depends on the game. This game might have more, might have less, but you know, just in case anybody's struggling, I just thought I'd share the way that I do that, because I've been doing that pretty much ever since I actually found out how the fuck to do that goddamn minigame. And it's always nice to help a brother out. What is this? A bottle of liquor. High proof distilled spirits. I wonder how long it has been in here. Dude, alcohol like doesn't even expire. It doesn't even freeze. Like alcohol is, we used to call it God's gift. Liquor. I have no idea what the hell to do with that. You know, and I'll say, okay, I will say this. So far, they've nailed the feeling of Amnesia: The Dark Descent to a pretty good degree as far as this game goes. But they've missed one area, that being the ambience and the OST. Because Amnesia: Dark Descent was fantastic on both margins. Not saying this game doesn't have a good OST and all that. Just saying that it doesn't quite match up to the feel of the Dark Descent. Recipe books written by hand and covered in mold. That's this game is Brit. I forgot about this game is made like in the UK or some shit. Wait, but they Brits add a U to the word mold? Didn't know that. I knew that for like color and labor. Didn't know that for mold. Sounds like looks like she spelled like mold or something. Not trying to make fun of any sort of dialect. Just the way I see it. Yeah, almost flies. They must have cooked meals for a lot of people here in the day. No shit, it was a goddamn concert. All kinds of kitchen utensils. They're rusty beyond repair. I'm going for the single door first. Excellent, good to go. Oh shit. There's a hand crank attached to the mechanism, but it seems jammed. So a grease or something? I don't think this is gonna... Fucking grease it somehow. That's what the fucking grease is for. I see a narrow passage behind the wall. Oh, that's what that is. There's a note for the monks here, but it makes no sense. Why would they forbid them from accessing certain areas? I mean, that actually is pretty normal. In a place like this, to not allow access to certain kinds of people. Pretty normal thing, girl. Oh. Well, time to solve what I got now. Put that shit in the grease, and then put it back there. Wait, what is that? The cupboard looks pretty heavy. Judging by the dust on the inside, it hasn't been used in ages. What the fuck is that noise? And what's up there? Why the fuck can't I go up there? Lubricated gear. I almost feel, you know, I'm gonna look this up. I almost feel like The Dark Descent is the reason why, like every horror game known to mankind, has a sewer section. Because they all do. God damn it. Oh shit.
I'm gonna have to cross that tunnel, right?
Yep. Or should I? I'll do it. If she dies, I guess. I spent a lot of time with Erica Farber, so I'm more so okay with it than I used to be. Sophie used to be my hoe. Although Erica Farber is not available in this episode.
Oh, I hope I never have to cross that tunnel again.
Oh, you know, speaking of character shit, actually, the characters are available in each episode. It actually varies, depending on what the episode is and who survived. So, for example, the cop, Renee. Actually, no, I'll go, okay, Sophie. Sophie's apparently only available in episode 2 if you completed episode 1 with her. Renee is apparently available in episode 3 if you complete episode 2 with him. You see what I'm saying? And some others are only available if you, like, if other characters die. So let's say, like, character XY, or let's say dude AB is in episode 1, and then that's pretty much it, right? Well, let's say episode 3 is XY. XY dies, right? So normally let's say normally you'd have episode 4 has XY. Well, if XY dies in episode 3, then AB will be in episode 4 instead, right? So whatever character you have depends on certain shit like that. An old oven. It's on, but the flame is pretty weak. And there's gonna be something I can... Yeah, I didn't think so. I think it's a cookery book. The letters are so faded I can barely read them. Oh, thank God it gives you a thingy. Several measuring utensils and mortars. I also see books and notes on cereals, but they're in terrible shape. When you say cereal, I'm going to assume you don't mean some shit like Cracker Jack. And that's it. Well, might as well go in here while I can. Oh, fuck. There's a key here, among the remains. Hey! What the fuck?
It's opening! Do something fast!
Look at the fuck over there! Fuck! Oh, Jesus!
Oh my God.
Every time I do that shit, I just barely make it. Fuck. Pewter key.
Huh.
A heavy key with several intricate designs. Maybe I can use it on that door. Motherfucker. A nice big pile of wood. It looks like they were getting ready to burn a few things, but never got around to using it. Now it's rotten. Page 2 from the Abbot's diary. Abbott. I'm not allowed to mention why that name rings a bell. Let's see. Per my own rules. 12 December 1912. He has been purified. I have nothing to fear. His bones will turn to dust in that oven, for I will not allow him to be taken elsewhere. What the shit? Hold up. Was this guy alive? Did you burn him alive, or did you cremate him? I fucking hope the fuck you cremated him. This should suffice to silence the voices. What the fuck? All is well. I have nothing to fear. All I must do is finish his altar and keep calm. I must not be afraid. My faith must not falter. You know, Muji and I have recently been playing Far Cry 5 and New Dawn, and let me tell you, that sounds like some Joseph C. type shit right there. Anything on the back? Nothing. Okay. That's page 2, though, so I gotta read page 1. Everything in this place is run down, even the shelves. A bunch of chairs and random junk. It looks like they hastily piled it up any which way. Well, they all got the fuck out of there as quick as possible, didn't they? No way. Wait, let me listen to that again. Hold up. Locked? Oh. Ah. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go around, because that's to that same room. I'm gonna take the way around. That way I have a better chance for a spot to hide in. What the fuck? Why'd you jump scare? Remember what I said about the ambience not being as good as The Dark Descent? I may have been smoking a little bit. Except without saving. What the fuck? Nothing's in there. Oh goodness. Huh.